What's up, everybody? My name is Carolyn. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you happen to be a subscriber. If you're not, please subscribe. I am coming at you guys with a makeup tutorial that nobody wants, nobody asked for, and nobody's gonna watch. But like, I do makeup every day, so I'm like, might as well film it, might as well make it into a YouTube video because like, why not? Today I'm gonna be showing you kind of a dewy look. I don't usually do dewy looks because I have pretty oily skin. I would say my skin is actually a combination, but it does get fairly oily throughout the day. So I try to stay away from oil and like moisturizing products. But yeah, I gave it a shot. I kind of like the outcome actually. It's kind of like nice to be like glowing, you know? So if you want to know how to get this look, just keep on watching. So the first thing I'm going to take is this oil. You guys know, if you saw my last video, that I don't know how to pronounce his name, but you can find it at Target. It's called Radiant Boost Restorative Facial Oil. So I'm just gonna take some of this. Oh my god, that was a lot. That was a lot too. This actually smells really nice. And I'm starting with my brows on today because without them on, I look a little scary. If you watched my other tutorial, not much has changed from that. It's just like adding the oil has changed and like maybe like a little more highlight. You'll see. But in the last video, I also took these two foundations and just mixed them together. It's number 7 Stay Perfect in Airbrush Away foundation, and they're both in warm ivory. So I'm just gonna take a pump of this and then a drop of that. And I just use the end of a brush and I just mix it together on the back of my hand. And from there, I take it on the end of the brush and I just put it on my face in little stripes. Oh, I have to go get my beauty blender wet. I'll do it later. I always start my makeup and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go get my beauty blender wet because I always forget. Also, I forgot to mention this as well. My eyebrows that I already talked about, I used the Anastasia brow pomade in Sable. You guys already know what it looks like. I'm gonna take my damp Real Techniques sponge and I'm just gonna tap everything into my face. This is why I don't put brows on before everything else, because like I have to go around them. Like it looks okay, but like does it? And the same thing with eyeshadow. Like, I know that a lot of people put eyeshadow on and then their foundation, but like, how do you do that and like, why? And I asked Kelly, because we always get into like heated conversations about it, and she was like, there's fallout, and I was like, fucking brush it away. This girl DM'd me on Instagram and she was like, your skin is so clear, like how do you do that? And I was like, oh, I just like make sure my makeup's washed off at the end of the day, and like sometimes, and then like when I'm in the shower I'll use like a facial cleanser and stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, but like maybe I should like actually get a skin routine. So if you feel like leaving a comment, let me know what you use for like skincare, stuff like that. And if it's cheap, even better. Now I'm gonna go in with my concealer. I use Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. And I'm gonna take that same Real Techniques sponge and just blend everything in. I need to get a little beauty blender. Like, those like little mini ones? I feel like that'd be helpful. But I'm just tapping it all in, and then with what's left on the sponge, I bring it up my cheekbone a little bit and over my eyelid, because I kind of use this also as eyeshadow primer. Now I'm gonna set my face using this dry beauty blender and CoverGirl Professional Loose Powder in 115 Translucent Medium. So like I said in my last video, this powder is not clear and it has like kind of a tint to it. So it kind of just like, I feel like it helps my face blend into my body a little more, color-wise. So I just take this sponge and I tap it in. This is like a really old sponge, by the way, and like, please ignore it. But I just tap with that under my eye. And I'm not really using this stuff to bake my face per se, so like after I press it into my under eye and I kind of let it like sit there for a little bit, I just like take this brush, this powder brush, I tap it into the powder, and then I just swirl it on my cheeks and like everywhere else. While I'm like swirling it into my cheeks, I also just brush away under my eye. So now I'm gonna be bronzing with the Lacombe Dual Finish Multitasking Powder Foundation in One All Day Wear. But that is a long name. Looks like this. It's the same one that I used in my last video. Oh, and I'm also using this e.l.f. brush that I used in the last video too. It's like, I think it's a kabuki brush. This is like my issue with doing like a dewy look. Like, I set my face with powder, but I still feel like that bronzer came out kind of muddy. So now I'm going to be highlighting, and I'm going to be using this brush that I'm probably not supposed to use for highlight, but it's just like a fluffy powder brush. I don't know what brand it is. I got it in like a kit. And I'm just going to be spraying that with some Mario Badescu Rose Water. Just kind of pick up the product better. I'm probably going to use a couple different highlights in this, but the first one I'm going to use is the Urban Decay Afterglow Highlighter. And I broke this one, so that's why it looks pretty ugly, and it's pretty old. So I'm just going to tap that in, and this product is like very, very pigmented. Like, do you see that? I don't know if you can see that. I can see that. And so now I'm going to take that Sephora palette that I used in the last video, and I'm just going to take this two middle colors and kind of mix them together. I'm going to take more of this color and then a little bit of that color with the same brush. And I'm just going to go over where I highlighted before. Just kind of warm up the highlight. Because like personally, honestly, I think that this palette is not like boom in your face. But I'm going to keep these highlights out because I'm going to be doing my nose highlight with this brush. This is a foundation brush. You really don't need to see it, but I'm just going to use that to do my nose highlight, which is probably wrong. But I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to tap into this, and then I'm going to go into the Sephora palette. Same thing, just tap into this and a little bit of that. And I'm going to be using this same brush and skipping the Urban Decay one because it's a little much, but I'm going to use the flat side and just tap into these two pans and just put it above my eyebrows. But like avoid the center of your forehead because you don't want to like make your forehead look like a 5 head, or in my case 5 head look like a 6 head. So I feel like my highlight is kind of like sitting on top of my skin and it isn't really blended into my skin. So I'm going to take that same beauty blender and kind of just like tap lightly where I put the highlight. Make it look a little more natural. Now I'm going to be moving on to the eyes, and since I want this to be like a warm kind of look, I'm going to be using mostly neutrals but like a little red. I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is my all-time favorite palette. And I'm going to keep this look kind of simple because this video is not really like a eyeshadow tutorial. It's more like a face tutorial. I'm going to start off with this brush. It's an e.l.f. brush, and it's just a fluffy blending brush that's kind of flat. I'm going to take this color for my transition, and I'm just putting that pretty liberally over my lid. Honestly, even when I'm not doing like an eyeshadow look, I do try to like put at least this transition color on my lid because I feel like it really helps warm up that area where my eye is, because one time I didn't do that and I walked around looking like I had unfinished makeup and it was just not good. I'm going to be taking a little tiny bit of this color. It's the one that's dead center in the pan. In my experience, this color is like pretty pigmented, so I'm literally gonna very lightly tap into it. And so I'm putting that all over my lid, like the transition color. I'm just keeping it a little further down than than the transition color. Now that I've kind of warmed up the eye a little bit, I'm going to switch brushes, and I'm going to be using this e.l.f. brush. It's just like your basic fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to be going into these two colors right here and just mixing them together. And I'm gonna kind of focus these colors on like the outside of my lid, like the outer V of it, I guess you could say. Once I feel like it's kind of, you know, on my outside, the outside of my lid, I'm just gonna blend it towards the middle. Like with very little product on my brush, I'm just kind of blending it into the reddish color that we just put on. And I'm also gonna blend it out on the edges like that. When I want to blend everything together because it kind of looks a little harsh, I'm just gonna take this e.l.f. fluffy circular blending brush, which is a different one than the first one that I used, and I'm just gonna take it with no color on it and just kind of go over everything and just blend it together. I'm gonna go in with this brush for my bottom lid, and I'm just gonna literally take like the same exact colors, maybe switch it up a tiny bit, but I'm gonna go in with this color first and just go kind of liberally all along my lash line. So now I'm gonna go back in with that color that's in the center of the pan and just like take a little tiny bit and just go a little bit closer to the lash line than I was going before. And I'm going pretty much all along it, and then I'm kind of stopping like here in that range. I just had to like stop for like 5 minutes because someone was outside my door at the sink because, you know, I'm in a dorm. Now I'm just gonna tap very lightly only into this color, and I'm gonna put that right along my lash line. So we're almost done with the eyes. The last step I'm just gonna do is just take this tiny brush. It's pretty solid, you know. It's for lip and eyes, I guess. So I'm just gonna be taking the black in the lower corner of this palette, and I'm just gonna be putting it all along my lash line on my upper lid. I don't know if you can see the difference between this side and this side, but this side I think just looks like way more put together. And also if you put a layer of like darker something there, I usually use like gel liner, but I didn't really want to because sometimes when I use gel liner it kind of like somehow transfers to my under eye. I'm trying out the eyeshadow technique today, but if you just line your lash line and then you put mascara on, it just looks way better and you look way more put together. Just a tip. I actually filmed this look like yesterday, but I was kind of too lazy to edit it, but I just kind of assumed that it was bad, so I'm just doing it again. But I also did, with that makeup tutorial that I did yesterday, I also did a hair tutorial because the one that I did was just like super bad. Hopefully that one comes out better than the one that I did a couple weeks ago, because that one, it was just awful. Posted it anyway though. Before I put my mascara and everything on and finish the look, I'm just gonna spray my face with the Mario Badescu water, just kind of get it hydrated again. I'm gonna take my eyelash curler, curl my lashes, and then I'm gonna put mascara on. A tip if you want your lashes to grow a little more, I would use castor oil because I use castor oil to take off the like residual glue from fake eyelashes, and it does that well, and it also makes your lashes grow a lot more. Like my lashes have actually grown a ton since I started doing that. I'm gonna be taking the Better Than Sex waterproof mascara, and I'm just gonna be doing it. I want to try the Benefit, I think that's the brand. I want to try their mascara, the roller one, like the black tube with the pink top, because I've heard good things about it, and I've heard that it's better than this one, which is currently my favorite mascara. You also want to kind of like focus on the tips of your lashes and just kind of brush them from above and then below like you normally would, and it just kind of makes them look a lot longer. Also, if you're kind of looking down rather than like straight on at yourself doing mascara, like if I was doing this in a mirror instead of doing this, I would just like get mascara all over my lid. And this is kind of a more effective way of putting mascara on because it's less likely that you will get stuff on your lid. So now I'm just gonna do the bottom lashes. I'm just gonna be finishing off this look with some setting spray. This is L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set. So this is the finished look. It's kind of like a summery look, like a glowy look, something that's warm, which is what it's, you know, supposed to be in New England because it is spring, but we just had another nor'easter. We're supposed to get snow on Sunday. So like I said, maybe there's a hair tutorial. Maybe I'm probably gonna put this video up first, but I'm gonna be putting that one up. So if you wanna see that, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. Share it with your friends. I don't know. Also, click that little bell to be notified when I'm posting videos because like I kind of sporadically post them. I'm gonna try to start posting like on Sundays. I've kind of been doing them on Tuesdays, but I think that Sundays are just like a better day. Comment down below your skincare tips and tricks for me. I'm gonna be maybe trying some new stuff out for skincare because what I do is like fine, but it's not like what I should be doing. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this kind of glowy makeup tutorial, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Oh, this you crazy mother.